yes, I know that the formatting of this video is very different than what I usually do, but because my anniversary of being cast in Fate the Musical is coming up, I thought it would be super fun to kind of do a reaction video to my very first auditions and callbacks for Fate the Musical. And because of that, I am here at my desk today with my desk microphone and my webcam instead of the really nice camera or my phone or something like that. I know it's a little weird, a little different, but I just thought that this would be the most comfortable, organic way to do it, I guess. So let me know if you like this style of video, and I can totally invest in getting this whole setup more cozy and better lighting. Okay, without further ado, let's look at these auditions and callbacks. So sort of as a side story, when I originally auditioned for Fated, I auditioned for 3 characters. I auditioned for Guinevere, which, spoiler alert, I ended up getting. I auditioned for Morgana, and I auditioned for Nimue. So there's 2 song snippets here for each of these characters. So first up, we're going to look at Guinevere. I believe there is a snippet here from It Wasn't Him, which is a song that's coming up soon, and oh, What I Feel. It was What I Feel. It was like an early rendition of What I Feel, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what this one is. Let's take a look. This one is It Wasn't Him. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so weird like listening to myself sing. These were all from, like I said, about a year ago. I believe I recorded all these like in March, so it was a little before, or I guess a little more than a year since, but I digress. Let's listen to it and hear myself, I guess.
I've heard the tales of Camelot, a kingdom brave.
I sound so baby.
Where Arthur rules with wisdom, where I might soon belong.
Okay, baby Caitlin.
Will he be a gentleman? Will his heart beat for me? I don't want just a crown, I want a family. I'm standing.
Okay, I'm pausing. I have to say, I still like it. It still sounds fairly good. There was one thing that Adri, I'm probably going to bring this up so many times, but when I first submitted my auditions, I submitted them, or like the original drafts, I guess, of the auditions, I submitted them to Adri herself, and I was like, hey, I would really appreciate if you could take a look at this and give me some feedback if you can. And Adri was so sweet. She was so incredible. She, you know, complimented me so much, which really helped my self-esteem. And she also gave me some really good advice about, you know, elongating kind of the vowels and holding notes. That's the word I'm looking for, holding notes longer. And overall just really helped me kind of figure out some things to make Guinevere's character, not only just making the character itself, but just to help my singing in general. So I really do appreciate Adri for taking the time to do that, and for casting me in her musical, I guess. So yeah, let's continue on and see what else is in store.
At the edge of fate, not knowing what I'll see. Will love be waiting at the gate, or only loyalty? But then I saw him shining bright, a knight who stole my breath away. With every step I felt the fire. He swore that he would be my king today.
Oh, she's so hopeful, girl.
Played a wicked game. It wasn't him, it wasn't him. He'd come to take me to be wed to his king, and I followed where he led. I tried to gather up my heart.
The different deliveries are making me like, ah.
But Lancelot's the flame that sparks a secret I can't tell. I'll give my vows, I'll play my part, for what else can I do? He's a good king and a gentleman, and I should love him true.
One thing I want to say about this is that I think just like as a, this is gonna be like sound like me tooting my own horn or something. Like, I feel like I've become a better performer, I guess. Where, I mean, I guess in this callback, or in this audition, I mean, I was definitely just trying to like portray my voice and not really like putting a ton of acting into it, because I was like, I just need, you know, the Fated crew to hear me just kind of singing in general. But like thinking about how I recorded this now, of like how much more emotion I put into it, I guess. I think it's just like a testament to, number one, you know, knowing your character more. You kind of have that, like, I don't know if, no, not solidarity, security in being cast already. So you're like, I can play more, I can experiment more. But then also just learning how to put emotion into singing vocals as opposed to like voice acting. And I mean, voice acting as a whole too, just like getting better and more experience with that. This is gonna go so off tangent, but I think something that actually really helped me with that is playing D&D. I know I talk so much about D&D with like my friends and online and everything like that. My like For You page is all D&D. I will fit it into any conversation, but just getting into like a character's mind that way, especially like when you've written the character and you know their emotions and stuff, and then just also not being afraid to do like the roleplay aspects of D&D and like screaming and crying and yelling and being really mad, being really heartfelt, being really happy. Like, it definitely teaches you to not be so self-conscious about displaying big emotions. But yeah, back around to like the actual topic at hand. I'm really happy that I am more open to being emotional, I guess, in my work. And so, baby Caitlin, these vocals sound really good. We need to feel the heartbreak. We need to feel the heartache. We need to feel how sad you are that you are betrothed to Arthur when you yearn for Lancelot. Okay, we're almost finished with this one, so let's keep going.
I'll be the queen he needs to have. In kindness I will sow. I swear I will.
I also feel like I just like interrupted myself again. I feel like I'm so much softer here, which I mean, I feel like I'll talk about this more like if I ever get the opportunity to like talk to people about like the making of Faded and my recording process and everything like that. I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to do that, but I definitely want to, and I tried to play Guinevere kind of in two different ways, where it's like when she's with other people and doing her queenly duties, she's definitely softer, and when she's portraying her actual emotions, she is a lot more outspoken and harsh, I guess.
Be true to him, and maybe love will grow, but oh my heart, you must obey, for fate has sealed my hand.
Yeah.
You cannot stray where fire burns. You belong to this man.
Yeah, no, baby Caitlin, good job. I'm so proud of you. This is incredible for you. And I'm going to speak to you in the past. You do get to play Guinevere. So yeah, congrats to you. You did great. And I think you are only getting better from here. Just like a side story, I guess, if you want to hear about the process more. When everyone, at least I think so, when everyone auditioned for Faded, we were told, like, when we submitted our auditions, they were like, you know, out of the characters you're auditioning for, like, order your not priority, but I guess, like, your preference of who you would want to play. And so, like I said, I did an audition for Guinevere, Morgana, and Nimue. So when it came time to do that, I didn't really have like this is one I definitely want over the others. Like, it wasn't like I was striving for one or the other. So I was like, the order doesn't really matter for me, but I was like, I gotta put something and I gotta think about this to give them some sort of preference, priority list. So the names, I don't remember exactly which names I put in what order at the very end, but it swapped around a ton. Like, I had Morgana in the front, then I had, you know, Guinevere in the front, then I had Nimue in the front, and these people, like, I swapped around that list so much before I actually submitted my audition. All right, so that was It Wasn't Him. We're going to move on now to What I Feel. I remember this one being a little bit shorter, so I think It Wasn't Him was definitely like the longest of the auditions that I did. All right, this one is gonna be fun. Yeah!
Guilty is what I feel, guilty is what I feel. I wed a king, though my heart said no.
I still remember the lyrics to
In
this.
exchange for the love I'd forgo, I tore apart what once was whole, two noble hearts, one fractured soul.
Yes! Yes, girl! There's that emotion! There is that emotion! Mwah! We love you, baby Caitlin. You're doing so good. Give me like an angry song or like a super like sad song, and I just eat it up.
Guilty is what I feel for a wound that time won't heal. I tried to meet what duty demands, a queen, a wife with trembling hands.
I love that like tiny little break I did on trembling hands. Yeah, that was good. Like a little bit of that shake there. Mwah. Take notes. I should take notes from baby Caitlin. She knew what she was doing back in March 2025. She knew what she was doing.
But my heart betrayed the vows I swore for love I craved, for the man I adore.
I loved this verse. If you could call it, I guess you could call it a verse. Yeah. I loved this section. And again, like I said, I still remember the lyrics to this. All right, we are going to move on to the Morgana auditions. I remember really liking Morgana's pieces, and I still do. I still really like Morgana's songs. Shout out to Fran. Fran is the perfect Morgana. Absolutely slays it every time. This one was Hand and Heart and... oh my gosh, I cannot remember the other song. We're gonna learn in a second, so let's see. This is Hand and Heart. I love this section. I love the song in general. I remember having fun with this one.
You're sending me away. I don't understand. You just told me this chord.
This is definitely where you can hear Adri's advice of like holding the notes for longer. Where instead of like, you're sending me away, I don't understand. Like, it's you're sending me away. I don't understand. I don't know if my hand's going off the thing, is it? Nope, I'm good.
It was my home, my land. Why push me out just when I feel I belong? Why part us now when nothing
I'm gonna
feels
quickly
wrong?
shout out. I don't know if this was Fran's doing or whoever changed the, like, I can't remember if there was a lyric change there or just like the melody change there. I'll play it. I'll play both versions together. I like how they changed that line. Anyway.
Why part us now when nothing feels wrong? Why part us now when nothing feels wrong? You've been my guide, my sheltering shore. Why send me away when I found so much more?
Ooh, that was a good little riff or a little run.
A path I could make. Why must this be the price I take?
Yeah, again, Fran's delivery. Why send me away when I found so much more? Really good. Really good. I wish I could have made those. I wish I would have thought to make those choices because they're really good. Yeah, I remember really liking recording for Hand and Heart. I really like this one. So yeah, her stuff was definitely like felt comfortable. But I also love, as Guinevere, being able to experiment with like so many sides of my vocals and really strengthening a lot of parts of them. Like Guinevere, she has a lot of light stuff, and then she also has a lot of very low stuff. Like there was times where I think it might have been What I Feel, like the concept version we actually released as a single. I believe I was taking like the lower parts of tons of like the harmonies and like the trio stuff. I get very low in my range, and it's kind of cool to experiment and strengthen those parts and have the opportunity to do so. All right, which one is this one? Return to Us, that's what it was.
The years between, the exile long, a life apart, a love gone wrong. I chose my pride and fled the pain.
Love that.
Left Camelot in loss and shame.
I remember I wanted to throw that in there. Loss and shame. I wanted to throw that in there just to like brag.
Oh, Arthur's heart was kind
Those
and
longer
wide.
notes.
I could have stayed right by his side.
I like my delivery
And
on this.
even just his friend or kin, been his shelter through thick and thin.
I think there was just like when recording this one, there was like certain lines that just weren't hitting with my vocal cords right. Like sometimes I'm like, just do your job. But yeah, that one was really good. I like that one a lot. All right, we got the Nimue stuff here. I'll get into it a little bit more when we get to the callback videos. Oh gosh, the callback videos. I have stories. I got callbacks for Nimue and Guinevere. So this is kind of getting into, we had the Guinevere stuff and kind of getting into the territory here of this is the kind of stuff that got me a callback for the musical. This was Excalibur's Call, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. I'm excited for this one to be in the album too. This one's really pretty.
From the waters deep I rise, a sword forged in fate's disguise. Power waits in silence still. Take it, Arthur, bend your will.
I like my softness here.
Path is carved in ancient stone. A kingdom's crown you must now own. In these ripples, destiny.
My vibrato's really good here. I just feel like
what you were.
I definitely feel like I experimented with delivery and timing on this one. Take it, Arthur. Bend your will. Instead of just like, bend your will. Yeah, I like that. I did a lot of experimenting there. I always love when I can throw in a little bit of vibrato, because I feel like that's definitely one of my stronger bits in my vocals. So any chance I get to throw a little bit of that in there, let's do it, you know? For the Kingdom. That was the second one. For the Kingdom. I'm pretty sure there was a part of this I did from the callback too. I'm pretty sure. Let's see what I did here.
Arthur, I see the weight you carry, a heart cracked by betrayal's hand.
Can I really fast give a shout out to SJ? Like I said, I got a callback for Nimue, and I was like, oh, I hope I get Guinevere or Nimue. Like, I was just excited to have either. Nimue would not be Nimue without SJ. SJ is such a phenomenal vocalist.
But Camelot falls while you tarry. You've let the crown slip from your hands. Guinevere's gone,
That's
yes,
me.
Lancelot
That's my
too.
boyfriend.
And I see the scars they've left behind. While you brood and drown in sorrow, your kingdom crumbles, tides unwound.
This one had a lot of low notes too.
You're a king, Arthur, strong and
That's very
true.
low.
Camelot depends on you.
Now these are going to be stuck in my head for like the next week because I haven't listened to these in a long time. So yeah, those were all the original audition submissions that I did for Fate of the Musical. Let me go dig up the callback videos, and I'll actually have videos to react to as well. You guys can see my darling face, and I'll have stories for those as well. All right, so for my callbacks for Fate of the Musical, I got the DM from Adri saying, hey, we'd love to have you call back as Guinevere and Nimue. Here's all the materials. I did a kind of a long section. It was a duet section with Lancelot. Obviously, we had the demo vocals for Lancelot and me recording as Guinevere for In Dreams Eternally. And then I had another section of For the Kingdom for Nimue's. And me being me, a super extra person, decided to go all out for these. And I recorded with like costuming and special effects and transitions and things, which I'm glad I did, but also I am insane. So I guess let's check out Guinevere's first. Let's do it. And I'll have some stories for this. My acting choice here in the beginning that still makes me cringe. Yeah. You know what though? Embrace the cringe. Cringe is fun. Cringe is more fun than being normal. Also, this dress I got at a thrift store for like $6. I wore it when I went to go see Six when it toured in my city. So yeah, that's a fun little tidbit there. It's me being sad. And being like, oh, Lancelot, you're here. I gotta be normal.
When words like arrows find their mark.
This is gonna be a story for you guys to listen to, or I guess this is gonna be something I'm gonna tell you guys to listen for as you listen to this. I got a cold like right before recording these callbacks. So like hitting the high notes was really hard because my nose was super stuffy, and I was so scared that this was gonna stop me from getting the role. I was like, oh man, like my vocals aren't as good because I'm sick or whatever. And I almost said something. I almost like when I sent in my callback was like, oh sorry, I have a cold or whatever, but then I was like, no, I'm not gonna like diminish the impact of it by being like, oh, excuses. I was like, I'm just gonna see what happens. And then everything worked out, which is great. But yeah, I was scared. I was nervous to submit these. And I mean, I had no choice, but it was still scary.
And courtly voices wound. You stand beside me, true and strong, a shield when I'm marooned. It's where this kindness that you show, a friendship loyal sure, when duty bears its heavy weight, the present.
I can't help but notice that my braid looks really good, and there's like a pom-pom at the end of it. This is fun.
This is my cure.
My lady, I'm but one small voice against such storms and tides.
This happens when I'm doing cosplay videos too. But like acting to the camera when you're like supposed to be acting to another person who's just not there, like when you do duets and that kind of stuff, very funny.
Let us linger if we may, just you and I, no courts of ease. Imagine life beyond these walls with only skies and trees. A place where we could breathe and roam, where titles fade away.
I was like, oh, I'm liking my delivery on this, and then I got to Way and I was like, oh, there's the cold.
What if we knew no bonds to bind, but only night and day?
This part.
We'd find the life as
Yes!
with no crown to uphold.
And then I didn't want to like throw the crown because I didn't want to break it, so I was like, toss it aside. You know what? This is where my bachelor's degree in film and media arts comes into play. I'm so glad I found a use for it, guys.
Just fields of green and endless time. No
Also a thrift store dress, believe it or not.
castles dark and cold.
I see it now, a cottage small, where ivy climbs the door. A humble home with hearth aglow, far from the pomp and lore.
We'd be no more than what we are, just two who dare to stay.
No swords.
There's my acting in there. Yeah, no, kind of funny that like one of Guinevere's like in the higher notes song was when I was having a hard time singing high notes. I mean, I got it done, but yeah. I'm definitely excited to record this when I am clear of stuff in my nose.
No vows to keep apart, just laughter come what may.
And if the stars would grant us peace, a life without the strain, to know that love could be
I actually love that.
with nowhere to maintain. Would you be mine if I were free? If duty held no strain.
Just that again. Oh, I forgot I did that breath. Oh, I love adding like, I think just like a sad whistly breath adds so much to anything. I did a very similar thing in my All You Want to Do cover from 6, where I kind of took a pause in the instrumental and I extended it to do like this super sad shaky breath, and I was happy that I went through with that, because again, a sad whistly shaky breath always hits.
I've built a world of bars, not given hearts away.
Oh, the little look back. She's so sad. She doesn't want to be the queen. All right. For the kingdom. For this one, Adri was like, play around with the vocals, do some backing vocals, do some harmonies. And I was like, put on a dress and do special effects. So yeah, this one was fun. Here, I can kind of go over the costume really fast. This was like one of the very first times I was experimenting with like doing like super bizarre makeup looks. I wore this for like the rest of the day because I didn't have anywhere else to go. So I just kept this on for like the rest of the day, just like walking around in my PJs with this on. Did like rhinestones. I did like the thing where you do the eyeshadow on the lipstick thing. I wore my elf ears for this because I was like, Nimue's kind of mythological. Yeah, that's a word. So I was like, I'll wear the elf ears for that. This, fun fact, this was my bridesmaid dress for my sister's wedding. And I was like, it's blue, Lady of the Lake, perfect. And you know what? It actually still kind of slays. And I got another use out of it, so that was great.
Then stand
Yes!
up before
The
he
effects, let's
falls.
go!
Before the walls crumble around you, before there's nothing left to grieve. You think loss makes you weak. That's a lie, only the broken believe.
Yes! Get it! Angry Caitlin!
Magic
Yes!
stirs, shadows move. If you don't act, something else will, something worse.
Yes!
You were never meant to be.
I wish I had more growl in my voice. I wish I could figure out how to do that. Like that, you can. Like, I wish I could do like, you know? I don't want to try it now because I'm afraid I would shred my vocal cords. But at some point. I did a cover of God Games a while back with some friends. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. I still really like it. I was doing Athena's part. And during like the airy section where she's like, hold your tongue now, his son's my friend. I wish I could have done like a deep growl there. And even my sister, she was listening to it and she's like, you should have growled. And I was like, I can't growl. Maybe someday I'll learn. I'm getting a little better at it, so we'll see. But yeah, at that, you can. That would have been cool to have like a, yeah.
Soft, not in a world like this. You swore an oath to Camelot, to your son.
Absolutely love that we just had like, I mean, obviously if you knew our Theory and Legend, you would know some of the context for these songs, and I sort of did going in, but like if you were going into audition for this with like no context, you'd be like, whose son? Camelot who?
To all who still live, you think the fire asks permission to burn, that the river stops for shattered stone? No, and neither can you.
Yeah, I was like, I need to be angrier, but you know what? Oh well. That's all of the auditions and callbacks. This was such a throwback. I was so happy that I went back and looked at these with like more of an actual critical analysis eye to them. That makes me super duper happy, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too, and I hope you enjoyed this kind of format for a video. So thanks so much for joining me. Sorry the lighting and the camera setup isn't the best, but hopefully at some point, maybe if I do more stuff like this, then we can get a cool, awesome setup going. I also real quick just want to thank the Faded the Musical team for being just so awesome and giving me this opportunity. I will forever be grateful, and I will feel so absolutely blessed that I get to be a part of such an amazing project. If you haven't checked out Faded the Musical, check it out. We have 2 albums out so far. We have Faded to Love and Faded to Cherish, Chronicles 1 and 2. Guinevere's introduced at the end of Chronicle 2 if you want to hear me sing. But yeah, check it out. It's a super awesome project. I really hope that it gets all the credit and attention it deserves. But yeah, just thank you guys so much for those who support Faded, and for those on the Faded team, thank you so much for bringing me in and letting me be a part of this awesome project and family. I love and appreciate you all so much. All right, guys, take care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!